Hey, grab yourself a cup of tea. I'm freshening my tea up right now, and I'll see you in just a second here. Welcome to Monday morning, Roodoodles Live. Here, I promise. There I am, right there. I knew I was close by. I just had to fill up my teacup. I had gotten in here a little earlier this morning and just drove in early. I've actually we were out on the road last night. Well, we weren't out on the road. We stayed at some place, but keeping the grandkids. So I came back to the studio early this morning because I had everything set up here. And my tea got a little chilly, so I had to warm it up for you. Hope you got a cup in your hand, a cup of coffee, cup of tea, cup of something good. And I hope you got some paint brushes, a notebook, or something around you. We're going to do something that I haven't really sat down to say, let's do this today. I don't know that in the couple years that I've painted, I've ever said, hey, today we're going to paint this. So I'm getting ready to say just that. So top of the morning to you. Here's the desk. Let me show you what's down there. Just give you a little look. There it is right there. Top of the morning to you. I love this painting. I do this painting probably 3 times a year, just with usually a Lamy pen of some sort. You know, just grab I usually keep one close by. I think I threw it in my bug out bag to take with me last night. There it is right there. Had my orange bug out bag last night. There it is. Still got some black ones in the shop if you're interested. Bugging out, you know, take a few tools with you and hit the road. And I did. I took a lot of paper. I always carry a few pieces of paper in my vest pocket. I'm reaching into my vest this morning here. Let me get on the double camera so you can see what's going on. Picture in picture. There we go. Down in my vest pocket. I always keep a few little pieces of paper like this. I painted on one of these this morning for my granddaughter, right before she left. And, in fact, I'm going to lay that right there, and I'll show you exactly what I painted on there. And it was probably a piece maybe more this size. But anyway, I keep some small paper in there that lets me just sit and doodle. If I'm listening to them read something or they're working on an art project, like we were up late last night with the granddaughter. But I keep these little pieces of, this is Canson paper. I'll either keep this or I'll keep Fluid 100 or just fluid paper. And I'll just zip it up with a paper cutter, and I don't measure it, just cut by the eyeball, and it makes the framer more frustrated with me, which is one of my goals in life. Those guys who are precise and every little millimeter has to be millimetered, you know, just cut the paper, whatever. Hey, let me say good morning to some of you, and I'll get back and show you what we're going to paint this morning. So blessings to you. Thanks for being on the show. Good grief, a lot of you have piled on already, and it's a sunny day here, but it's chilly. A lot of frost on the ground today. It was in the 20s. That's not chilly for you people who live up in, you know, the Northeast who just got pounded. It's just been unbelievable. But it's been good. So Carol Tard Monday, thanks for being on the show. Jennifer Thistle, thank you for being here from Arizona. Deborah Spangler, Beverly Schmidt, all the way from sunny Greenville. Dorothy Beasley, Donna Sell Barton. Always love to see you on the show. Karen Binder, Pat Brooks, welcome to the show, my dear friend. Trish Brown, Julie Waldner, Gene Anthalzer. You know, these names have become so familiar with me in this community that I even see some of your artwork when I say your name. I know how you paint. I know what you think. I don't know what you think. That's ridiculous, but I know that you think like an artist, and you're piling it on out there. So Fern Skelly, thank you for being on the show. Barbara Mayer, Jennifer Yentz, Nancy Catlett, Jacqueline Goodrich, Sandy Conner is Connor, I believe. Can't believe I'm on time today. Yeah, that's all. Okay, there you go. That's all you're going to get from me because I've been up forever. Michelle, thanks for being on the show. Laura Belushi. Michelle, I'll probably call you later today. Laura Belushi, 7 degrees in Attica, New York. That's chilly, okay? Maybe the wind has died down some so it doesn't feel like 270 below. Hot tea. Maybe you want some hot tea when I said 7 degrees. Dolores Boland, thank you for being on the show. Pat Lightbody up in Wisconsin. You know, I just had a little piece of a pastry this morning called a Danish, what are those things called? Danish. It was pecan Danish, and it was from Racine, Wisconsin. There you go. Yeah, Trader Joe's carries them, and my grandkids love to eat them. Linda Linhart, welcome to the show. We fragile Florida flowers are now used to this kind of white stuff. Yeah, no kidding. Liz Foley, hello from West Australia. We have a lot of people from Southern Australia, so from you people in the west of Australia, I love the way you just say, we're from the west. So Liz, Lyss, what a great name. Thank you for being on the show. It's kind of late over there, but so I won't try to keep you up too long. Heather Kuhlman, thanks for being on the show. Randall Taylor Craven, Linda Lawless, Sharon Clark, morning, Idaho, with a skiff, she says. And I'll call it a skift. You can call it a skiff if you want. I call it a skift. To me, a skiff was a little boat, and a skift was just that little drizzle of, like you take the powdered sugar and you put it in the little sifter. Sifter. And you just tap it with a spoon. That's what we had a couple of mornings ago. B. Ariola, thanks for being on the show. Gail Anderson, Carolyn, it's Cherian. Wow, thank you, Gail, or Caroline, for being on the show. Caroline Cherian. Laura Abbott, here, but just for now, whatever that means. Yes, thank you for being here. And Sharon Fitz-Norman Moibus. All the 4 names. Nobody should have 4 names who lives in Tennessee. You're just allowed 3 by the state commission. It's you can only have 3 names. You can't have 4. So it's a hyphen. Okay, I'll give you the credit for that. Teresa Emmerich, thank you for being on the show. Dana Smith, Patricia Evans. Wow, thank you guys for being on the show. Mary Ritzow, Cam Lawson. Blessings to you all. Virginia Man, love seeing you on the show. Jack Wolfenbarger, I saw your name come by. Skeeter Powell, Skeeter made it on time. So we all should probably just, I don't know, maybe if you have a map, if you have a globe in your house, just find South Carolina and punch Greenville in, like just right above, just over a little bit from Columbia. And just put a little pinpoint in there. That's Skeeter's house. Rhonda Rawson, thanks for being on the show. Denise Albright. Miss Carl is on the show. All right. Have you considered having a class in Bible journaling? Linda, yes, I am actually not only considering it, it's part of the rollout that I'm going to do in the next month, and it will be separate from this show, so people who want to be a part of that thing can just click in and be a part, and there's a way you can be involved in that, and I'm going to probably do it actually weekly, just a little short class on us going through something. So that is a great question. Thank you for a lead in. I didn't even pay you to say that, okay? All right, love it. Here we go. Let me see, who else am I missing this morning? Bert, thank you for being on the show from Greenville. Greenville has shown up today. Mickey Hupp from Michigan. All right. Gretchen Smith, hey, thanks for being on the show. Gretchen, I think you should have something coming to me in the mail if it's not there already. B. Ariola says it's going to be 60 here today. Love it. All right. Kathleen Johnson, whoa, Michelle says. You say whoa to a mule, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Melinda Bernard, thank you for being on the show. I told my wife last night, I got to call John. We need to have you guys over for dinner. Time to put a steak on the grill and pretend that we are listening to some Spanish music. I don't know, maybe a Spanish steak or something. I don't know. All right. Linda Keel, good to have you on the show. Here we go. Becky Bailey, thanks. Pat Thompson, Catherine Brousseau. Let me just get busy. I've never said this to my knowledge, and now I've painted a couple before, maybe 3 or 4 since I started painting. I've never said, today let's paint a, wait for it, springtime butterfly. Let's paint a butterfly. I got a couple notes last week who said, wow, I would love to have a butterfly in your style. And I thought, wow, that's a little intimidating because I don't really know what my style for a butterfly would be, but I am going to push because I've been involved in some Asian art work with Yasutoma, the fun friends from American Journey and Cheap Joe's art stuff. I talk about them all the time, and I love their paint. But I'm using some of their paint. But I'm going to use my bamboo brushes and just some not rice paper, but just watercolor paper till I get some of this new paper that it's new to me. This new I don't know. It sounds like a tornado, but it's tornado, something paper. I want some of that paper, and I'm going to paint something bigger than this, but that's kind of a perfect size. I'm just going to start on a little piece of paper about this size. I'm going to do a butterfly, and I'm going to do it quickly and fast, and just let it. And I'll show you a couple that I've been doing, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay. I sat last night, and the reason I got into this, listen to this. The reason I got into this, I told my granddaughter last night, she said, oh, Roo, I've got a new art class and I've got to think of something to paint in there. And I said, oh my gosh, okay, let's come up with it. What's it going to be? And she said, Roo, it needs to be something fun. And I said, how about a butterfly just flitting around? She goes, oh, could you teach me how to paint a butterfly? And I'm going like, sure. So here we go. Ready for this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a little bit of black ink right here. Just got a touch of little watercolor ink right here, black. Too much. Just a clean brush. Wow, that's a lot. And I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to just come down like this. And then maybe down this side like this. There we go. There's my butterfly so far. I like him so far. See that? Just with ink. And then while I still have some ink here, I'm just going to come in here with this little head. Maybe just get another little touch of that black ink. And just come in here like this. And here's where you have to be real careful. I'm using this 2.0 Yasutoma brush. I'm holding it really, really loose. And I've got to do some antennae. They just need to barely touch this here and just kind of come out. Look at that. There's one. And then just come down here with a little bit of some legs like this. There we go. There's that. Now I'm going to just put that aside for a second, okay? I'm going to let this dry just for a minute. Notice that there wasn't a whole lot of dark ink in there. My brush already created some bleed as it was coming down. So I'm going to show you another one, and I'm just going to take this time I'm just going to take, if you don't have ink, I'm just going to take a little black watercolor paint right here, just out of my American Journey, lamp black. There it is. Get another little piece of paper. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of come down here, and this time I'm just going to do the edge of the wings like this. Maybe here's one, maybe here. Come down from this side like this, and then I'm just going to start to tie those together a little bit like this. And by the way, I think I've only learned how to paint the butterfly going to my left so far. So I'm going to have to turn around and do the other side and paint 50 of those too. But I'll get there, I bet. Now watch this. This is just going to be really light. Okay, so there's my two butterflies. Look at that one right there. That's kind of cool, huh? So I'm going to let those dry just for a second. And I painted two of them before that music kind of popped away. I do have something that you don't see me do. It looks very organized here, but I'm just going to lay these brushes down on this brush rest because I don't want them to hit my paper, and I also don't want them to bend the ends. Bamboo brushes are Yasutoma brushes for sure. This is an all-purpose SW5. Let me show you the 3, which I normally paint with right here. This is a 3. Beautiful hair. It's usually goat hair. All brushes are going to have just some loose hairs every now and then that you're going to have to pull out of there. It's like, hey, great violinists do this on their violins too. So just and then remember, you should probably store your brushes laying flat or hang it like this. Never, it's okay sometimes if they're nylon to store them in a container like this. Once they're good and dry, just put them on their tail, that's fine. But bamboo brushes, I try not to stack up on their end because the hair is so fine and it tends to pull them down, and that's not the direction that I want them to go. So I'll tend to lay them all flat. I just have a stack of them laying over here like so. You can see, like, that's the way I want the ends to store right there. Sometimes when I put a brush up, I'll just sort of take it like this and dry it out a little bit, and then I'll tweak it just like this. Just address it a little bit, or would that be dress it? Whichever you choose. Just kind of bring it into a point, and then let that brush just sort of lay flat and dry like that. Eventually, you know, some people hang their brushes up. That's what these little loops are for in the back. And you never want to store them like this so that water runs from the head down into the handle of the brush. That's not good for your brushes. That's not good for these brushes either. So don't put these brushes up wet. If you're painting with nylon, here's what happens if you do. If you put the brush up wet like this, and it's in a, here's what's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to just work some water and mold and mildew in here, but you're also going to create cracks in the wood and the paint, and you're going to wind up, this brush is 10 years old, so I'm not sweating it too much. And some of my brushes have gotten the paint knocked off because I splatter that way. All right, so these are drying because I'm just rambling here a little bit, but you can see size-wise, don't overdo it here. You just want to paint a little butterfly. So these are probably what? Oh, I'll get a 5 by 5 out of this. That's a great little painting, or even a 4 by 4. 4 by 5 is perfect. That's a great whiskey painter size because it's what is it? It's 20 square inches. Okay, 20. It's a big number. 857 equals 20. Want to learn how to paint a butterfly? Work on it just for a little bit. Jean Anthalzer has a little butterfly icon there that she put in. I think those are called emojis. I think I certainly have been introduced to a few emojis via Pat. All right, so here's what I did. I took a little bit of my gamboge, you see it right here, and I just dropped it in a little dish right there, down in there. See it rolling around right here? See it kind of moving? So there's just a tiny bit. I don't like to waste paint. I just sort of keep it in places till I need it. But in this case, what I have done is I've just, I put just a touch of a little gamboge in here with a splash of water, just a clean brush, and just splash some water in there. And I'm just going to take my brush and roll it in that just a little bit because I want some yellow to come in here. This was the first one I did right here. Let's move him over here first. Need a little bit of nicer music just to do this with. Let me see if I can find something that's just kind of fun. Something that's got some strings. Let's see. Well, that's kind of nice. Okay, here we go. And then I'm just going to just kind of just go in here and hit this with a little bit of yellow. Look. So I suddenly have this little yellow butterfly that's, put a piece out here. I can bring a piece around, maybe a piece here, and here like this. All right, clean that brush out. Make sure you clean your brush as well, especially if you're working in liquid watercolor. When I say liquid, you can do this one or two ways. You can take a little bit of your dry or your squeeze tube, if that's what you use. If you're using dry cakes, then wet them a little bit so that they're a little moist. Put some in a dish if you want it, and then add a little, just throw some water down in there with it, just clean water. Let it just be a little looser. Sometimes to do these loose butterflies, I've found that you just want to keep some water splashed in these little cups. I just keep 3 or 4 little, these are just plastic. Ceramic works great if you got them. I wind up dropping them on the floor between here and the kitchen. So anyway, then I'm going to come in here with just a little touch of blue and just touch some blue here like this and just let it pop right on the edge in that. And so then I really think I want just a little more red in here. I just want a little touch of red right in there, just in the butterfly. And so I'm done. I'm finished with that butterfly. So for what I might do is I might come in and just grab some ink right here and just sort of tie this together. Ink, I think ink when I put it in those pots, but it's not. And then come in here and just touch a little more. You know how butterflies have these little dark circles on their wings? It was too wet there, but that'll give you an idea. I'm gonna go do the other one just a little bit. We'll let that one dry right there and see what we got when it's finished. How fast was that to do it? I'm gonna do it again for you. I'm gonna reach in here, just get a little of my color. Look, clean brush, dry it out just a little, roll it in my paint. See this? Look. Can't even see it go in this brush, but it's there. Wipe it off just a tad. and then come in right here and just come down through here and just make a little bit of yellow. Love that right there. Maybe a tad of orange would be nice in there. Maybe a tad of red over that. Just let it kind of turn orange as it wants to. Mix a little bit of water with that and see what happens. A little more gamboge come in there. Oh yeah, that's nice right there. I like that. That's very monarch looking. Okay. This one needs a little daub like that. All right. I'm going to let this one dry just for a second, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to do another one while this one's dry. You see where I splattered some red on this when I was doing it? That doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like that. As a matter of fact, this, I really do think this... a little something in there that butterflies flying to. A little green would be nice. Touch this with just a tad of green on top of that and see what you get. This is where that bamboo brush can really kind of help you by just being feather-like. Okay, where's it going? It doesn't matter. It's just like the butterflies flying somewhere. You know, maybe it's butterfly. There's butterfly flowers that people plant. Butterfly weed it's called. Okay, so you get into that whole thing. So I haven't said that the Roo painter just painted some butterflies. Let me show you what I did just as I sat down yesterday thinking about, would I actually say, heck yeah, I'm going to paint a butterfly. Take a look at these. Just did them just like this. Ready? I like this one. I'm going to come back to him. He is so cool right now. All right, look at this one. There's one. There's one. There's just a really different one. Ooh, that's a clean piece of paper right there. I'll throw that over there and paint on that before the day's over. Here's one that has some green and red on it. Look at this little guy right here. Whoa, is he cool? Here's one. Sure, they're all going the same way so far. Look at that. There's one going up and one going down. Boom. Look at this one, just painted on the little drawing paper. Because see, I came in and I did a little detail afterwards. So you got all these, look at these right here. Different little, this is just 3 movements of my brush. Sweep, sweep, and sweep. And then just put the body in there. When butterflies are turning, you know, everybody thinks, oh, they have to be painted. This is not, you know, I'm not doing a logo for Dolly Parton. Look at this one of my favorites right here, just on a little piece of drawing paper. Look how loose this is. It's not even together. I left all these holidays. I'll try to do that one again for you right here. Here's one with a little red in it. Oh, here's my little, yeah, he got in there. I'm thinking this bird is way out there by himself. This little baby bluebird is maybe wandering home. He decided to run away. I don't know what his story was. Anyway, so there you go. There's some, there's a few butterflies that I painted. I don't know how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's almost about 20, right? 20, 22. 22 of them right there. I'm halfway, almost halfway to my 50. You know, and I'm going to keep painting them. I have enjoyed doing just, oh, there's another one. 24. Almost halfway. I'll do one more. I didn't count the 2 that I just did. So let's do one more. Let's do another one just flying on the same piece of paper right here with just a little light brush. All right, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to take a little bit of my lamp black. I put it in here. Now I'm just touching a little clean brush to it. And let's try to do this one right here. All right. All right. Let me pull this up here. Frozen on and off. He's a bluebird, needs a butterfly. Hey, June Jones, that bluebird does need a butterfly. Maybe I could get bold enough to do the butterfly on him here in a little bit. All right, let's see. Where'd he go? Yeah, I don't know what to do with him. What did I do with that little bluebird? Music quits and the man falls apart. There it is right there. Okay, so yeah, I could do a little, maybe I could do a little butterfly up here. Except he needs to be going that way, so I better practice one going the other way here. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if we can do that. Wow, I've been so used to doing this. Let's see if we can do this. So quiet in here, huh? All right, when I'm not talking and music's not playing, I forget where I am. It's like, wow, is that nice? Okay, so there's one going kind of the other way. Sorry, it wasn't even in the painting. Let's try this one more time. I want to try this one for you. That's just that I really like. I like this one right here. This is a Roodoodle style right here. See that? That's kind of a cool. Yeah, I know. Here we go. Nothing better than watch a Rood have a new discovery. You're most kind. Well, somebody said, hey, la 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 la. Video outside. We can't see you. Jacqueline says. Jacqueline, is that because my paper's too low, or you just left your glasses upstairs? I don't know which it is, but here we go. I'm gonna do this right here with a little. I think you can see this page full on. Here we go. I'm just gonna get put a little bit of right here and here, here and here and here, like that. That's gonna be the top part. Okay, that's gonna be the wing. I like it already. And then over here, I'm just gonna add a little more black paint to this. I'm just gonna come down here, here and here, and I'm gonna stop right there. And I'm gonna put his head right here. Head's kind of a little teardrop shaped thing with the body on it. What I'm doing here is I'm just pressing this brush down and letting it come in like that. This is gonna be a big butterfly. I kind of like where he's headed already, okay? There's his tail wing. This wing's gonna come down, okay? Now while this is still wet, I don't know if I should try this, but I'm going to. I'm gonna come in here and just pump in some little yellow ink while it's still wet and let that just kind of touch. Same with this wing right here. Come down and bring those down like that. Oh, look at that. Maybe a little bit on the outside of that one. Come and get just a touch of this black. I mean, literally just barely touching my brush in this. And then I'm gonna just come in here, light as I can be. I mean, I'm barely just touching my little brush to the there, and the same with his little legs. He's got to come down with these little legs like this. There they are. All right, and so let's put a couple spots here, like so. And so I wound up just doing that little boom. All right, I've got a little bit. I think I still like that little bit of red coming in there like this. I like that little bit of orange on those inside wings right there, and maybe a little bit of blue. I just took some of my ultramarine and I dropped it over here. I think I'm going to do a blue spot there and a blue spot there. Wow, that's so wet, almost too much. But I think you understand where I'm headed with it. Okay. All right. So that gives you a little idea of just a little Roo-style butterfly. Are they perfect? No. Could you change how you do those? You bet. The point is, find some that you like. Find somebody who paints butterflies and just kind of go after it for a little bit. And that's all that I've done here. So there's all sorts of different ways to paint. A bigger brush, you can take a bigger brush. You can take some yellow in that bigger brush, and you can literally just create wings like this. You can come in with the tinier brush like so, and come back in and just paint his little body going this way. And then I can come way out here like this. I can come way out here like this. I can also just put a little spot. Let's see if I can get these little spots to show up like this on the outside of the wings. There's one. Come down here like this. So I kind of came into that one backwards just by letting this letting the paint just be the reference point of where the wing is. Look, who knows? Which way could he be turned? Just have some fun with it. The only way you're going to do this is just play with it. If you're afraid to waste some paper, then you're probably just going to be stuck thinking, Oh, I have to take my time and see if I can draw all the little parts to a butterfly. So there's this great little concept of right there. Now, if I go in here and just get a smidgen of this black ink and come down through here like this, boom, 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 boom. Come in like that. All right, I think that one's done. Gives you a little great idea, huh? All right. Bingo. Okay, so never said it, but I said it today. Hey, I think I'll paint a butterfly. Now I'm going to also, and now you got me going. Should I, oh, I know what I can do. Okay. Since I'm so much better, a bunny trail for that one. But it gives you an idea of what I'm working on. Since I'm so much better at painting the butterflies going to my left, because I haven't learned to master the brush in the other direction. Hey, look, this is working without a net. I don't do that. I do this stuff because I fail. The only way that I get better is that I learn from my failures and I move forward. If you're not doing that in watercolor art, then you're not risking it enough. I'm risking it in front of you here. I'll tell you every day. There are people on the show watching right now who are better artists than I'll ever be. But sometimes you're timid. You're tight. You're just like, I painted the little bluebird this morning for my granddaughter. And I said to her, she has a singing audition today. You can't think about it. Do you think birds wake up thinking, oh no, I'm going to be so embarrassed or just so tense today to sing? No, they don't wake up thinking that. They just go, this is what I was made to do. Hey, this is what I was made to do. I was made to help you push and encourage you to be creative and think like an artist. That's what my goal is. My goal is not only that, and that's why I would do storytelling. That's why I would do my Bible journal. That's why I blacksmith. That's why I do anything that involves the arts. I had no idea the arts could be this until Carol pushed me like that. She was the encourager that started me doing this. Black tea, I discovered that on my own because I just got tired of coffee. I was doing a morning television show years ago, and I had like 3 cups before 7 o'clock, and I'm going like, hey, somebody better slow me down. So here's what I'm going to show you. While these butterflies dry, and I'm going to bring this one back. Take a look. There it is. Cool little painting. Roost-style butterfly right there. You know, what I could do and what I will do is I'm going to go in here. He just needs a little bit of fluff around him. I'm going to take some of this yellow paint and I'm going to take a pencil here and I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to let some of this yellow just drift around a little bit and maybe a little bit of green down here around this plant. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so that's kind of fun. I just, sorry, I'm taking this out of camera. I forget that this camera probably could come back down just a little bit right here. There we go. That'll help you. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you this bluebird, and then I'm going to try one, a little bluebird, baby bluebird, and I'm going to put a butterfly in it. So let's just get another little piece of paper here. Giving myself a safety backup because I love this little bluebird. He is just perfect, except I just spilled paint on him. All right. It was perfect. And I'm going to do him differently. So I'm going to lay these brushes down just like I said I would. Rinse them out, clean them, lay them on this rest. Put them over here out of the way. Move these paints back just a little bit. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this with a tiny little pencil. Maybe this little 555 General's layout pencil right here, okay? So there we go. All right. Let me get a little music here. Bluebird music. He's out by himself. We're going to put him right here. There's his little beak. It's a little long, extended beak. Bluebirds have kind of a little longer beak, not as long as the wren. Then I've got these little squirrely little pieces that are just little follicles of hair, that are just feathers that aren't really turned into feathers yet, but they're just fuzz. You know what it's like. You've seen little birdies that look like this. It's just a little ball of fur. But he's not completely round. He's more pear-shaped if you look at him like that. I'm going to switch pencils. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pick up right at the end of his beak and I'm just going to put a little piece of an eye right here and a circle around it. A little more circle. And I'm going to come in with that in a minute. And I'm going to do that in pen. And then I'm going to do his shoulder down here and I'm going to do this in pencil. And I like this little knob on his knee, but his foot's turned out like this. He's got long little feet. He hasn't grown into his feet yet. He's like a child or a puppy dog, you know? You know, you see little dogs and their feet are just huge. You go, now that dog grows into his feet. You know, of course he will. He needs them now for balance because he's clumsy. And so there's my little bluebird. Can you see him right there? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go in my pocket and find, let's see, do I have one up here? I'm gonna be, oh, here we go, look at this. This is a Kakuno fine point fountain pen. I could use ultra fine, but I'm gonna use this fine. I think you can see it a little better. So I'm just gonna go in this and I'm gonna sort of retrace my pencil. But before I do that, watch what I'm gonna do. You've seen me do this before. This is my little bluebird. This is my Rouge style bluebird. I'm just touching a little bit of this layout pencil. Remember, it's a General's Layout 555, kind of a fun pencil to have. It smears, look at that. See that? Okay. Use this brush for that. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here and just get some of this, and I'm gonna come in here and just sort of smear some of this right in there like that. Look, I'm gonna leave his breast, his whole belly section, just kind of white paper. But up in here, I'm gonna go get a little bit. You see how he's shadowed with the finger? It's already working, okay? Now I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna grab a little of this right here. You see that right there? I'm gonna come in just a little bit on this bird, okay? I'm gonna bring it in for you, so here we go. Notice if I get a focus on it. Got to focus right on his eye, it's a dark spot. Nope, can't do that. I'm gonna focus on the top of my pen, maybe. Nope, I'm working on it. Wow, can't get a focus on that. Sorry. Wow, what is going on here? I'm going to clean off my camera lens this morning and see if that's going to do some of it. There we go. Okay, so there's a little bit better focus right there. So I'm just going to now, we'll take some of these little hair follicles and I'm just lightly touching my pen to it. I'm not even trying to make marks or pretend that I'm sketching. I'm just dancing my pen over it. I do want a little sketch line here. And then I want some little wing feathers, some little tips sticking out there like that, little pen feathers coming out. Okay? Fluff up this leg a little bit. There's his knee bone, turn the opposite direction. Long claws. Here's this one here coming down. Doesn't really have a tail yet. It's starting, but he's just got little pin feathers coming out there. There's the start of the bird right there. Okay? All right. So you see them coming together. That's pretty cool, huh? All right. So this is what we're going to put a. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab let's see. I'll just use this bamboo brush. I got it right here. I could if I chose a American Journey brush, I'd probably choose something like. Maybe this number 3 right here. Here's a number 3, just American Journey. Here it is right here. Clean it out really well. Make sure there's nothing in it. And also loosen up the, just loosen up the bristles a little bit. Maybe put that one up and it wasn't completely clean. So I'm just gonna put it in some water. There we go. Got a soft little brush now. So I'm gonna come in here and just add it's a damp brush, okay? Listen, it's damp. But now I'm going to take it and I'm going to just touch it to my paper towel 1, 2, 3 times. So I know it's still damp and I'm just going to pick up some of that. I didn't want it too damp. Pick up some of this pen. This pen is bleeding and that's what I'm after. I'm just going to go in there and take a little bit of that in just around the eye like so because I want a little darkness in that beak and coming down here. And then I'm going to use that same damp pen to do my legs, and they're just picking up the ink from my pen. So am I really sketching? Nah, I don't know. Some ultramarine blue, there it is right there. Let's wet that pretty well. Let's come in with my finger and just touch it like this. Ooh, I like that right there. Head's a little bluer than it could be, should be, maybe ought to be. but it's would be now. Okay, there it is. There he's looking at just a little blue. I pulled that down. I'm so sorry to do that. Now I need a little bit of orange and yellow mix just to kind of come right in here and bring in some water. Clean brush. Just touched a little of that yellow orange over here in my, here it is right here. Sometimes I'll take some gamboge and I'll put it in a little clean pan with a touch of red. And I just have a little of this orange in there. If I really want to back off on it, I'll go get some French gray right here. A little French gray, and I'll just touch that in there also. I do that lots of times if I'm making rooster legs. Then I come in like this. And so I wound up just doing a little bit. I'm going to leave his breast kind of white, and I might touch a piece of orange right there. Look at that. Just add a little touch of color to that. There's a little bit of yellow from a fingerprint and a brush put down. I'll just take that drip and I'll just put a little water on it, take it off, add a little bit more. It's okay. Whoops, there's a drip that I did. That's okay too. I'm never offended by or embarrassed or sad that, oh no, I messed up a whole painting by paint that I dropped on it or put somewhere. Life's too short. And you know, I'm still under 8 or 10 minutes painting this bird, so he could take the bunny trail and I could paint another one. It would be just fine. What I am going to do is grab a little bit of a pen of some sorts, and let's see. I'm going to take this extreme gel, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create some hash marks underneath him, just like so. See him coming right there. And I'm sorry that it's focused, and now the cotton picking controller's in the way. All right, so let's just take this here and come in here, and then I cross hatch it this way. I'm just creating some earth. I like all my, unlike most of the politicians today whose feet are firmly planted in midair, I like to have my birds and my roosters grounded a little bit. So I just took a little bit of that bleeding from the pen, which was pretty blue in itself, and just threw a little bit of greenery in there like so. Maybe just put a little bit of grass strokes in there. This is where that bamboo brush really comes in. So there we have this little, now I have this little bluebird, and he's going somewhere. So let me give you a little page now. Here we go, coming out. Shh. There he is right there. And we'll just let him sit right there. Okay, so he needs a little butterfly, and I'm still thinking he needs a butterfly, something like this. And probably the butterfly, honestly, is about, you know, just about as big as he is, but we're going to get just a little bit of ink in this brush. Okay, and we're going to put it right here, and we're going to go here, and here, and here, like so. And then we're going to come in like this, right here, just down 3 strokes and come back in. Oh, yeah, look at that little body right here. And then we're going to come in. Now I'm just going to take my brush here, and I'm just going to tweak my brush around until I get some of that wetter ink out of here. And I'm just going to drag these little antennae way over and create some legs coming down like that. All right. I'm going to grab a little bit of this gamboge. Remember, I put some gamboge in here, and I added a little bit of water. You can still see it roll around. So now I'm just rolling my brush into that yellow. I'm going to come in, and while this is still just kind of damp, I'm going to just pull some yellow in there like this. And I'm going to also grab a little touch of either Joe's Red or orange, and just drop that Joe's Red right on top like that. So I have this bluebird, and he's, I need to put some, a little bit of blue sky in there. Blue sky, smiling at me. Nothing but blue sky do I see. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue sky from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright. You know, I'm a grown man. It doesn't take much to entertain me. All right. And I put a little bit of this up here and just a touch of blue in the sky. Enough blue in the sky, my brother would say, to make cat britches. So there it comes in right there. Just a little bit of that. Oh, my gosh. Look at that little painting that's coming out of there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Some leaves on this with that bamboo brush. And then maybe I could even put a little bit of a butterfly flower in there if I just took a little bit of a Maybe this is an orchid. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is an iris. Nah, it wouldn't be an iris, but it could be something fun like this. And then maybe I just need a touch of orange right here in the middle of it just to make it look like that. Look at that. Okay, so in no time, I've created this little thing called, ready for this? Let's fly. There we go. Needs a little bit of dirt on it. I'm going to take that number 3 brush again, get into some of my little brown here, and just kind of dirty up the earth a little bit right underneath here. Maybe a little bit of Payne's Gray for Donna Beasley, who's on the show. I saw that. Okay. And some, there we go. So there's Bluebird chasing a butterfly. And should I do more to it? Maybe. But the hardest part is quit. Put your brush down and stop. Except for a dry brush, a touch of some lamp black, tiny touch of, look at this, I'm over here doodling around with it. See this? Look at these thin little marks I'm making. I'm just trying to get a little touch of this to smooth this up right here on the ends. There's one, there's a cut down right there, there's a cut down right there. There we go. And then maybe making his body just a little darker. And his legs just a tad longer. Okay, I almost messed him up there. May put a little leg on it too long, but it's okay, it'll fade in. All right, so there we go. So there's my bluebird and my butterfly. Let's fly. Don't you love that? Hey, how simple it is to make a fun little painting. Okay, it doesn't take long if you just use your imagination. So basically, you need to just start thinking outside the box and think like an artist and get the concept on what am I going to paint next? And so today for me, it was butterflies. It all started with this one right here. Yes, it started on this paper. It is so fun sometimes just to be sitting at my breakfast table with a little drawing pad as simple as this one right here. And these are some ideas for my new shows coming up, and I'm going to be talking about that soon. Here's one piece of paper left in here. See it right there? Okay, so one more time, for those of you who pulled out I'm going to let this dry, and I'll show you two in a minute at the end of the show. For those of you who pulled this out, watch this. Here we go. So you don't have a bamboo brush, all right? So those of you who don't have this brush, don't worry about it. Let's say it's not the brush. Let's just say you've got a number 3 or a small brush or a little rigger brush, or what do you have? Let's see. Here's a number 3. Here's a number, what do we have here? La, 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 la. There's a number something. Oh, where's a tiny little brush? What is that? Wow, number 2. Didn't even know I had that. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so here's some nylon brushes. There's a there's a little rigger brush that just is a long-ended brush. Watch this. I'm going to dip in the same ink, not changing anything. Got a little bit of black ink or black lamp black with a little water, some gamboge with a little liquid in it, and I think I dropped a little bit of blue in here. Is that? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I dropped a little bit of blue. You saw that strike across. My paint's just not even a teaspoon. Just swing some brush water over there and lighten them up a little bit, just like this. Okay? Just loosen them up. All right? I'm going to get this out of the way before I mess it up. I mess more paintings up by piling them over here and piling other paintings on them. So here we go right here. So those are the 3. This is the butterfly that I'm going to try just on this little 80-pound sketch paper. So this is kind of how I brought this into existence. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and just touch it in here. And I'm going to go up here and just do this little spot on the wing like so, and down and down. And then maybe another little brush stroke in here like so. It's pretty heavy, but that's okay. We'll just let it see what happens. And then here, and then bring this one down. There's the little tail wing that cuts out. Here's his body, like so. Here, light. I'm going to have a hard time doing this, but I think I can do it. light, to the light. Look at that. Okay, just slow. Legs coming down like that. Okay. Come back in here, get a clean brush, go in and get some of my yellow paint. Too wet, so here's what I'm going to do. We'll go in and just dry a little bit of that out. Look what I just did. Just took my paper towel and I threw the dirty paper towel on top of those other butterflies. Oh, mercy. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little bit of this yellow and just come back in now, drop it in here. So really what happened was I started putting this one together like so, and then I dropped in some of this red and just let the orange take over in there and just let a little bit of water splash on it and make some water spots. And so I have this other little butterfly that has this great little lace wing on his on the ends of the wings, which is not uncommon to see at all. In fact, once that dries, I can come back and actually take a pen and put some little circles in there if I wanted to. So this is just 80-pound sketching paper. It costs, here's what this costs. 24 sheets of this cost $2.39. Okay? So I take notes on it. You know, I keep one in my pocket for notes that Carol needs. She says, hey, as you come back to see the kids today, bring this, this, and this. And also, you know, I'll do little sketches on it. Here's somebody asked me about my scripture journal classes. There they are. Here's my travel journal. Here's some Roo ideas. Anyway, so you get the idea. I use this as just my scrap paper to have fun with. And that's what I hope you start to do as you continue to just think like an artist. Maybe you just need to spend the whole morning doing little pieces like this, where you would just go with a piece of drawing paper and do a little head of a butterfly, and then push this brush down and then pick it up like this, and then do the little antenna. You think, oh, those are way too thick. Okay, then do them better next time. Come in again, paint it like so. And then come down, and then maybe just come in like this with your wings coming down. Get a feel for what I'm doing. I'm just playing. I'm just putting different things. Bunny trails with these, but you get the idea. And this too, it's gone. That's my last page. So looks like it's off to the art store to spend $5 and get 2 of those. All right, can't find them at local big box stores. Have to order them online, or I get those from Cheap Joe's when I take a trip uptown to Cheap Joe's. Okay. I think we do need to spend the morning with drawing happy butterflies. Hey, how does the button on Facebook help you? And it's part of a logarithm concept that they do. When they see more of those, they know people are engaged and they want community engaged, and that helps the person who owns this, the better community. If you are trying to start your own Facebook page, you know what the best thing to do is start shorter than this class is, because you guys are holding on because I'm teaching or telling stories, or I'm talking about you doing something. If you want to start a class, just find something fun to do and start it. That's how you do it, and then start to build your own community. But here's what I do. I have a personal page somewhere, but I haven't posted on it in probably a year. Maybe, I don't know if I have or not, to tell you the truth. Sometimes this post. My point is, this show for me is all about art, and so that's all I post on here. I don't post. I may sometimes they'll cross over if it's a trip, or if Carol posts one of her splits, or if Carol and I are somewhere together, it may get posted on my other page. But really, if you want to start a page on, let's say I'm going to do one on cast iron, I could do it on this page because some of you might follow, or I could do it on an ancillary page that you would go look at. But I would be a whole nother group of people that were into blacksmithing and not watercolor painting. You know, it's not like all the blacksmiths don't want to hang around until you paint something. Some of you, so I'll probably do that show in a separate piece. And it may be a page where you say, oh, he does this on YouTube or cast iron, or he does this there. And so that's kind of stuff I'm working on. But the Facebook, like in the way their computer reads things, is when it sees that, it goes, oh man, there's a lot of engagement here. And that helps the community. That helps me as an artist. And it also helps Facebook recognize the fact that what's this guy doing? It probably and it doesn't make any money for me. No, that doesn't work. Just never has, never will. It's just not, until you were probably in the millions and millions and millions, and you also had a YouTube channel, it would still take forever to do that sort of thing. So that's not the way that income comes in. It's usually through a sponsor or people sponsoring you or people becoming members, which is what I'm going to talk about later the next few weeks. And I'm trying to figure that out to say, what does it mean to be a member? Well, it means that I probably pay Roo $8.57 for this, and that's what we do. Okay, it's sort of like an extended version of a class concept. And so what does that allow me to do? It allows me to continue to learn and push and fail in front of you so you can learn to do certain things. As I get to be a better artist, some people who follow me get to be better artists, or I learn from you, you learn from me. So that's kind of how that goes around in a community. Hope that helps. Here's the painting I did this morning. There it is right there. Nice little, this could be a butterfly or a flower. See, it just kind of fell out there. Maybe one that lit. Let's fly, the little bluebird chasing the butterfly. Here's the other little painting I did on just butterflies need to be going somewhere. They need to be, you think, this one probably not. He's just going to be a little kitchen butterfly that goes out and gets framed in the window somewhere. But the point is, as you're doing these, just think of, and then what I'll do is I'll do the next 20 of these that I'll do them going the other direction. I'll go, okay, it's time. It's time. Now, and then I may get into some to say, what about ones that are flying like this that have double wings? Well, there's one right there. Just did one. And so you think, okay, now you're going to paint some going the other way? Yeah, I think I will. Here's one that I start. Oh, no, that's not. That's going the same way, same way, same way, same way. Yep. So all these are going the same direction. Why? It's because I'm right-handed. If I were left-handed, I would probably do the head on this side and the body back this way. But I did the head here and the body back that way. Does that make sense? All right. Talking fast, but I think you get the idea of where this thing goes when you start painting. Most of my roosters are, I've gotten to where they go, whichever way they need to head to the barn or to the garden. Okay. So the tools I used today were 2 bamboo brushes. I used a number 1, and I used one that's a little smaller than a 1. It's a 2/0. Great little detail brush. Some people would call this a vine brush, V-I-N-E. Why would you call it a vine brush? I think you know why when you see this right here, okay? I think you realize why this is a vine brush. Okay, you can bring it in like this, and you can take it around, and you could build it, and then you could come in, and you could put in some grapes in there like so. This is why this is called a vine brush. And so also this is it's had a little bit of ink mixed with it, so you can see how long this will stay wet. Anyway, it gives you an idea of how these little brushes come into use. So these are Yasutoma brushes. I used a couple of American Journey brushes. The colors I used today were Gamboge, the French blue that I just poured out all over my hand. I almost made it through. Nope, didn't make it through. There's my shirt right here. Can you see this? Wait, look, there's the tail of my shirt right there. Yep. And dang, I was just telling Carol, this is really a nice white shirt. I should probably change before I paint this morning. Okay, so didn't, and there it is. So, and I also used some lamp black, and just at the tail end of that lamp black, I took a little bit of India ink, just a drop, and mixed it in there too to give it a little more liquid so it would not dry as fast on the paper. So no secrets here. Withhold nothing. If I can help you, I'd love to help you. Except right now I need somebody to help me clean up the desk. Is this a mess or what? Thanks for being on the show today. If you had questions, I will spend a few minutes right now with another cup of tea going back through some of these. So I will fly and light somewhere throughout the day. Bite the dust. Another white shirt bites the dust. Yeah, Pat, no kidding. This one really bit it too. By God's great grace, though, I didn't get it on my new cashmere sweater or my cashmere scarf. So that was pretty exciting. It all wound up right there. That's it. I'm thinking maybe now I could maybe turn that into a rooster. Yeah, see? You see that right there? There's my shirt. I could probably come in here with a pin and put some tail feathers on him and put a comb on him right here and a waddle and then some feet coming down this way. And now I've just turned this into a, all I've done now is I've turned this into a rooster on the ends of my shirt. And there it is right there. Need a little bit of some lead color coming down there. There, see? And might as well just use the rest of this for do a couple tail pushes on him now. So I got it out there. Okay, so now there's a rooster on my on the tail of my shirt. Okay, it's time to go buy a new shirt. There he is right there. Hey, when you're a hammer, everything is a nail. And when you're an artist, the world is a canvas. You heard it right here. Blessings to you all. I hope to see you in the morning. Got my harmonica here. I always play myself off of the air. Now I got to go change shirts. Hey, drop some butterflies today. And you'll find some beautiful, and by the way, I just want to tell you, the people that amaze me the most in butterfly world are probably the people who do the least amount with a brush. And I think it's probably the Japanese or the Asian painters who have conquered that style. It just is breathtakingly simple. And I'm a long way from there, but my style is more whimsical anyway. So I want mine to be a little, I just want them to be like they're caught in a windstorm. And I do like this painting. I do like these two paintings. So I may post a couple butterflies today just for fun, just to throw some out there. If you'd like to have hanging one in your window, I'll definitely post this little painting here called Let's Fly. And I think maybe this one too. I'll sign it and put it out there. And so some of those will head out a little later today. Anyway, thanks for being time to call in those turtles. Like a herd of turtles, let's get out of here. I got to go have some more hot tea. Wait, I almost forgot. Take your cup right now for the last sip till I go get some fresh. Got to send a note right now to a friend who needs a little encouragement. You do the same, would you? Herd of turtles, I'm out of here. Pat's already sent in the herd.